All right, today's a follow-up game to the Battle of Warmsen yesterday, where the French were able to push the Brits out of the town. Just was so amped up after yesterday. I thought I'd have another game. This game is basically basically a follow-on, as I said. In this match, this corner here, which will be the southwest corner of the map. The French will come on in that corner. The game is supposed to symbolize a British withdrawal to farther northeast parts of the region of Hanover and areas around, where they've made their initial landings and pushed into that territory. The point of this game is basically for the British to get units off the northeast corner, which is over there. That's the vital intersection. These two main roads are where England is funneling troops to reconsolidate. They've left units of what's left of the Guard Brigade to do a rear guard action and to slow down the French advance, so they can basically reconsolidate their forces at a strong point and fight another battle. So this will be number 2 in the campaign. It's all timed out. So I just took a wild stab of when to bring things in. This is not a formatted game, so I'm not really sure if it's going to work out okay, but we're going to have fun with it anyway. Today's opponent is my kids, because I have 5 of them. It's not really a big problem for me finding someone to play. My kids have helped me paint some stuff. My kids have put up with a lot of my hobbies, so they are always willing to jump in and help out. We'll consider this road right here the western road, even though it's in the north. And then that'll be the eastern road, where British and forces, battalion by battalion, will enter on certain game turns. And they're basically the option for the British player, which will be the kids, will be to they can either march off the board, which will be the objective. They get a point for each battalion they can get off the edge of the northeast corner of the road. If they can get all 8 of the units that are coming in off that corner, they'll get a minor victory. If they can get over 10 plus, which would be some of the garrisoned, some of the rear guard troops, they can somehow get off the map. They can push it to a major victory with 10 plus points. The French basically need to come across and occupy the crossroads, and when the second that happens, it's game over. And then we'll see how many points each side has. If it's less than 8, the French will get a victory. Each turn, the Brits will get like 1 battalion here or there. Their commander will come on with the first group, and then they'll have a commander, brigade commander, come in as they get involved. So there'll be some. Don't want to get too far ahead. They'll have some minuses with the brigade commander leaving certain units behind. Distance is going to play a matter, so they can strategically move their forces to escape. And I think that'll be about it. So we'll get 3 battalions. Well, 3 battalions will come in on that road, the shorter road, and 5 battalions will come in over here. And 1 a turn. So the first 3 turns, I'll get ones over there, and then no more, and then up to 5 turns. 1 per turn over here. This is a longer road, make it a little bit more challenging. I just kind of pulled that out of my butt. French will get a turn 1. They'll get their first brigade, 4 line battalions, and 1 Voltigeur battalion will come in. Then they're basically on turn 3. The second brigade will come in with 5 infantry battalions. On turn 4, their artillery will arrive. On turn 5, the Guard Brigade will arrive. And on turn 6, or might have actually, on turn 7, the French cavalry arrive. Nothing on turn 6. And game's over at 10 anyway, so we'll put a time limit on this one, try to speed it up a little bit. Terrain-wise, the woods are only line infantry can pass through in skirmish formation, but they are ineffective when they're inside the woods. And it'll basically, they have to move into the woods, and they'll spend I guess a certain amount of movement, like one to get in and one to get out, would be good. It's just I want them blazing right through there. They'll just spend at least one turn in the woods just to symbolize getting slogged in the trees and then reforming on the other side. The Voltigeurs can, of course, in the British rifles, can go into the woods and do in skirmish formation, and they will get, -1 for being in skirmish formation and -1 for being in cover in the trees. Plus, they'll get a +1 save. These stone walls won't be considered fortifications, but the Brits will get a +2 defense in those trees, behind the stone wall, and a +1 save. But the problem is this area right here, I don't know if you can see it really good, is you can basically, you can go up this, and pay a 6-inch penalty for the steepness of the hill, but then to the left over here, that's impassable terrain, so the French have no options to go over there. A little bit of mountainous terrain here. Then when they get up here, this, that's just nice terrain they can move through. That's all impassable right there. That's impassable. That's impassable. And that's impassable, so they can't flank the Brits. So they're basically narrowed through this valley. They could zip up the trees if they get into the valley there, or on the far right they could go up into the trees on that little branch there if they wanted to go up there and attack the 95th Rifles. But otherwise they're going to get funneled into this valley, down through over that stone fence to that small little farming area over there, onto the road, and then onto try to take the intersection. Oh, it's also I forgot. I forgot to put them on the board, but I am gonna put the British cavalry. I'm gonna deploy them probably down in the valley down there. Yeah, they'll be right there in that valley. That'll be a light dragoon squadron. And that'll be it. That'll be the purpose of the game. And hope it's as good as yesterday's was. If it's half as good, I'll be thrilled. And we'll have a blast. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. We're not going to do any kind of colorful commanding stuff. That's just really for James and I. Everyone will just be base 8, I guess, will be the safest thing to do. And we'll go from there. All right, hope you enjoy. And we'll get it. We'll see ya. All right, turn 1, French movement. French came on in traditional fashion. Brigade in a column, everyone in attack column. Deployed the skirmish screen. They're not attached. These aren't mixed formations. This is a separate. They're a separate formation right this moment of the skirmishers out front, under the watchful eye of the Coldstream Guards with 2 artillery pieces. They got 2 moves, and that's where they're at right now. So that'll be the end of French movement turn 1, probably, and also French shooting turn 1. They won't have anything in range to fire. So they'll go right on to English turn 1, which will probably just go right into English shooting turn turn 1, I think, rather quickly. I don't see the British doing much, but we'll see. All right, we'll see in a turn with English. British turn 1, they actually brought in both their Hanoverian field battalions. On the first road here, they got only 1 move, but almost freaking screwed it up. Keeping their commander within 12 inches of the embarkation road point, so keep them no negatives there. That won't be a problem because he's only gone a couple inches. Those boys over there, oh come on, focus. They nailed 3 moves. So they're going to have a little bit of a negative. Their general stayed within, I mean their brigade commander stayed within a 12 inches of the embarkation point. But for the next turn, but those guys are a little bit ahead. But they're ahead of schedule. That's good. So we've got 2 columns coming down the road so far, heading towards victory points. Freaking, if they do that again, they could probably be off the board almost. Probably take 2 turns. Like ants from way over here. British players chose to hold their ground, loading cannonballs in the 2 9-pound longs there. Their other cannons aren't going to be, they don't have visualization yet on the French coming up over the valley. Not yet. And that's the first guard, I think it is. They are out of range. They're going to smack those French, I'm sure. I'll get a good look at these 95th rifles. Skirmish formation in the woods. Oh yeah. That's my boys. And you got the first guard, or the Coldstream Guard, backed up with what's left of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. They're the MVPs again. Alright. British firing, turn 1, coming your way. Gonna look at these guys going down the road. They're heading to town. Nice. Typical artillery fashion, the first 2 shots, 9-pounders, one fired at this right attack column, and the other fired at the left side at next to it attack column. Both missed. You did 5s or 6s. Couldn't quite get it. Alright, that's the end of British turn 1. Go on to French movement turn 2. Oh Jesus. Here we go, baby. It's going to be good. Well, that was a bit of a catastrophe in French turn 2. I wanted to keep the Voltigeurs separate, so I had to do individual orders. So that automatically turned into a freaking cluster. Voltigeurs did great. They got up where they're supposed to online. Next, my plan was to have basically a column of attack columns going up here, and then one formation probably in line facing the British line to try to prevent enfilading shots, but that worked out horribly wrong. The lead attack column got 3 moves and got stubbed up there real nice, did really good. Second column failed their order, so I had to burn the reroll right away, and they still only got 2 moves, and then rolled basically like crap with only single moves for each of the next 2 attack columns. So I've got a little bit of a screw up here. I think I'm going to get walloped by some. If I get lucky, I'm going to this. I'm sure my kids are giggling. They know what inflating shot is with cannons close to canister fire. I think we're in range of those cannons too, at least one of them. So it's going to be a nice little crossfire going through that particular battalion. Yeah. shooting fish in a barrel, right? We'll see what happens. All right. First of all, I get to maybe I'll get lucky and the French will just totally annihilate the British off the wall here, but I really doubt it. All right, here we go. Oh boy. Voltigeurs, 4 shots into the Coldstream Guard. Missed friggin' everything. That's not good. They're going to return the favor here. Uno momentito. Alright, we're going into British turn movement phase, turn 2. Oh boy. God. Alright. Alright, British turn 2 movement. 35th from Sussex came in and got only one move. Kind of sucked. I think it's Bremen. Field Battalion from Bremen actually got 3 moves and they trucked on down the road. They're getting a bit farther away from their general, but he's going to stay right there. Or their colonel, sorry. 28th from North Gloucestershire came in and nailed 3 moves. They trucked along. And you can see the very tail end of the Field Battalion from Verdun. They moved into the village towards the crossroads. Only got 1 move. Paid that -2 penalty from being far away from their commander. I've already laid out the cotton balls. Coldstream Guards would unload into the, I'm sure into the Hanover, into the Voltigeurs. The 95th were a ½ inch out of range from popping the lead column, but their artillery piece there will fire on them. So they're going to do some British shooting in turn 2 here. Alright, here we go. Oh, good lord. British shooting round 2 is no bueno. 9-pound. Well, first of all, the Coldstream Guard fired and disordered and did a casualty on my skirmishers, or my Voltigeurs. First 9-pounder fired and did an enfilading shot into these gentlemen and re-rolled the miss, of course, and 2 casualties. I need to save on 6s, which just wasn't going to happen. So they have 2 casualties. Other 9-pounder fired into this battalion. This didn't disorder them, at least. That's a good thing. But they also took 2 casualties, re-rolling on an enfiladed shot. The 6-pounder up there fired and actually missed. So I got lucky there. Oof, this is going to be a tough egg to crack. We'll see if I figured this out. I mean, I just kind of pulled this mission out of my butt. I just did such a blast yesterday. Alright, so I can still move pretty much, except for my Voltigeurs, which I wasn't planning on moving anyway, so that's good. I have a bit of a screen. We shall see what happens now. Turn 3, French movement. French movement, turn 3. I struggled to figure out what to do here. Almost trying to establish a beachhead. Tactically and Napoleonic, I don't know what to do. I was trying to make screens with lines basically to prevent from this crossfire of cannonade I'm about to get nailed with. I don't know if it'll help reduce or not, just to buy time. We'll see. I just kind of pulled this out of my butt. Kind of used to attacking one objective, not a move, basically having to move purposely through a frickin' ambush. But made a couple decent moves. This had to do, of course, separate stuff because I disordered the Voltigeurs. This untouched battalion was able to get 3 moves. They did 2 moves forward and then formed a line just to at least put some fire on, maybe take out some of these cannons and save some of these other battalions from coming through. These guys basically screwed the pooch, only got 1 move, so they ended up right there. That's the other untouched battalion. The 2 battalions that both had casualties. One was able to move forward and form a line. I'm not really sure why I did that, but I guess I did. I thought if I stayed in a attack column, I would just get, I don't know what I thought. I don't know. Not a lot of thought there. Just, yeah. I was going to try to rally some people, but then they would have been sitting ducks for enfilading shots. I wasn't. It was not a good place to stop. So I don't think there was any good place to stop. We'll see if this moves at all. And these guys got 2 moves, so I moved them. They also have 2 casualties, moved up in a. They stayed in attack column. I probably should have stayed in this attack column, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. These guys got 2 moves coming on, so I've got 5. The 2nd Brigade came on. Oh, I get their colonel. He'll be out here with them. So 5 fresh infantry battalions all coming on. And French shooting turn 3 is about to happen. Good. Alright, here we go. It's going to be a tough egg to crack. Oh, it was the turn of what should have been. The Voltigeurs missed all their shots on the Coldstream Guard. The 8th Regiment fired and actually hit their artillery piece twice with 2 6s. Disordered it, but unfortunately they made both their saves. I rolled really sorry, I didn't roll shit. The kids rolled really good, and little bastards. And they kept their guns. I was like, that was the turn it should have been. And then this line formation from the 70th Regiment, they fired into the 1st Guards and did 1 casualty. So, not terrible. I'm sure the return fire is going to be devastating in a minute. But there we go. We'll go into British turn 3. Well, it's official. I hate my kids and I'm putting them up for adoption. Oh, what was it? Turn 3 British movement was not so bueno. They moved their cavalry commander down here with the general, and then of course have to use a reroll, and nailed a triple move charge into the French line, which was able to veer off to the side there and put both of those injured battalions into square. Oh God! So they're gonna. They were debating about charging in with the guard and finishing them off, but I think they want to use the cannons too. So cannons first fire and the first fire from the 95th Rifles are going to mincemeat my boys. Love you guys. God bless you. Besides that, it was just battalion movement that they did good. They did they basically failed because of the distance on basically every single lead battalion, but they get the free initiative move or the free bonus move from being in march column on a road. So we've got a beautiful line formation head to town here. So I'll get down low so it looks actually kind of nicer. The whole situation looks kind of pretty. It's a little logistics beautifulness. There's the Hanoverian Field Battalion, a Sussex regiment, and then I believe that's from Cornwall. And then we've got sorry, a little bit of a, I know Steven Spielberg, then the Verden Field Battalion, followed by, what the hell's that? I'll have to look. Gloucester Regiment, and then behind them is the King's Own. So 6 battalions on the road heading towards Victory Pointville. That's the end of the guys coming in from the south. Now they have to bring in the 2 Highland regiments off this road here. So this brigade commander has actually moved up a little bit to give his guys bonuses to get the hell out of the way. And I hope they got like a yield sign or a roundabout here at this intersection. It's going to be ugly. But there's the Valley of Death. Oh, I love you guys. Let's hope they can sell. They're in trouble. It's not looking good. I'm going to have to advance the timetable for the French bringing in more troops the way it's going. That's not cheating, just improvising. Alright, we'll see you. We're going to turn 4. French movement. French dying horribly movement. I was wrong. We have to do British shooting first. Turn 3. I was trying to cheat. There you go. Improvising and cheating. British shooting turn 3. And sorry, that was a quick short video. And lots of shooting going to happen in a minute. Oh God. Here we go. Believe it or not, even though I tried to cheat my way out of that round 3 British firing, it could have been worse. It was horrible, but it sure could have been a whole lot worse. Coldstream Guard did another casualty, and they disordered the Voltigeurs again. Both 9-pound cannons fired into the French line. One got, I always forget the word. grazing fire went right through them and did an inflating shot into those bastards, the one on the far left. So they got walloped with cannonballs and they're disordered. They've got 2 casualties. Cannonballs went through, disordered these guys, did a casualty. A 6-pounder fired and drilled the square and disordered it, and enough to put the 3rd casualty on these guys. Inflating shot went in and did, I get that, yeah, that, not the inflating shot, the grazing fire went through and did a casualty here. First guard fired their first shots, basically. What's it called? Shit, I can't remember. But yeah, the first fire, and ripped these guys to pieces and forced a morale test on top of the cannon fire. And then the same thing here from the 95th Rifles blasted into this square and also caused a. So both these squares are shaken and shook. They're shaken and stirred, and they've actually both passed the morale. I rolled like a 12 and a 10. Where were those yesterday? So I did not break, thank God, but every single battalion in the brigade is disordered, which is no bueno. All 5 of them, and I've got cavalry sitting off my hip here. And this whole command has gone to complete dog crap. Oh, horrible. All right, maybe that was these guys' job in life, to go up here and just get minced. I don't know, but everyone's disordered, so these guys won't be doing jack crap, nothing. Be up to the 2nd Brigade, see what they can do. Coming in hot. All right, we're going to turn 4. And yeah, we'll see what happens. See if I can actually move, survive. Disaster. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Turn 4, French movement. Brought the artillery brigade in. Got their 5 cannons lined up. They're unlimbering. Won't be able to fire this turn. But hell, that's a good enough firing position. They'll be able to level some firepower against the British parapet. If anything will help. Great move for the. They've got the general move back to join 2nd Brigade, and they have to use their reroll. But they got 3 moves, so they have moved forward in attack column. 3 up front, 2 in the back. The other brigade, what's disastrous, but did 3 disorderly retreats. The squared shuffled 6 inches, and these guys moved back and kind of faced they kind of did a little pivot. But that's where we're at. Couldn't give orders, couldn't do anything because everyone's freaking disordered. But at least they moved out of range of the first guard. The cannons will still be able to hit them. But that's where we're at. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Disaster. I stuck it to my kids. The Voltigeurs who were firing at the Coldstream Guard, I said, screw it, the cannons are causing more mayhem. So they fired their shots at the far cannon and got to re-roll one of their misses with sharpshooter and got another 6, and they failed their save and only have a stand of 1, so I took out 1 of the 9-pounders. That's going to probably save a lot of lives. That's an MVP shot right there. Yeah, represent. Another great shot. This square got a 6 on the. They saved their casualty, but disordered the light dragoons. So they are unable to gallivant around all over the place and cause more squares, which they probably would have shot through this and squared up this entire disaster over here. So, yay, that's good. I'm sure I'm going to get pounded a little bit, but that's a lot better than other things, so we'll take it. That's a big victory for the big blue machine, and we'll see what happens with the British movement. Turn 5? Turn 5? I don't know what the hell turn we're in. These games like freaking are all consuming. I just want to bring in my cavalry. There they all are. Gotta wait a while on that one. Oh. Yeah. British turn, movement turn 4. Alright, here we go. British movement turn 4. Gordon Highlanders just got single move. Actually failed. They got the initiative move to come on. And the kids decided just to do initiative moves with the rest of the battalions. So they're showing off now. I think they're just like enjoying watching them march. Move the brigade commander up into the town at the intersection. Probably boost them off next turn. But they're in a good place. And no real movement up there. They were debating about moving the first guards up again, but decided against it because of blocking the cannons from shooting. That's kind of cool. Look at them going into town and out the other side. Sweet. All right. There's a British shooting. Well, this shot could have been a lot worse. That's grazing fire, like through a line, through 3 enfilading battalions, and then into a 4th battalion. But at least that would have been head on. I got pretty lucky on some of those rolling, but I still took pretty significant casualties. Coldstream Guard got 2 hits on these guys, on the skirmishers, or 1 hit, sorry, and they were able to save it, so they lost their disorder. That's good. That cannon did a casualty and another disorder on that line. Went through and did a casualty and disorder on that battalion attack column, and thankfully didn't do much else. Actually, nothing else. Oh no, it did disorder on the far side, this attack column. They actually made their save. That was kind of amazing. This attack, this square here was up in there. They got pinballed like you wouldn't believe. They got hit by that 6-pounder that enfiladed through them. That 8-pounder fired through all this crap and that square, and then the 95th also hit them. So they had a -4 morale test, but they actually passed. They rolled like an 11 or something like that, but they had to retreat 12 inches. They're back here. That's not 5 casualties, that's 3. And these guys aren't disordered anymore. So, yay. Haven't lost anybody, which is, I don't know how the hell that's happened, but we'll take a break here for a minute. It won't feel like a minute to you, but we have turn 5 for the French coming up. I'll start firing some cannons at some people here at least. Jeez. Yeah. Another disaster. See if 2nd Brigade can do any better than the 1st Brigade. Still that cavalry unit sitting there. Oh. It's a, as I said, it's a tough nut to crack. At least the Voltigeurs took out that 1 9-pounder. It might save my ass. I got these boys waiting on me. Whew. Where's my cavalry? Where's it at? I'll be on the radio. Help me. Alright, see you in turn 5. It looked like a good turn for the French movement. The guard, in traditional guard fashion, came in and nailed 3 moves. They're on the way towards to go up into the pass. The Pass of Doom. Cannons were able to all push forward a little bit. They were already, they didn't want to waste coming out of what are they going? They about to shoot. I forget where they were deployed. They just kind of pushed forward. They didn't do their big moves. They just kind of moved a little bit closer. Voltigeurs limbered. Sorry, they did not limber back up again. They just kind of hand shoved. Voltigeurs moved forward to get a best possible shot into the British remaining 9-pounder, hoping to wipe it out. I think I forgot to rally somebody. I wanted to rally somebody. I forgot about that. I'll do that in a minute. And yeah, that was about it. And that battalion to be left behind. So these guys did individual moves, and they all got 2 moves. So very had to use a re-roll in there, but it all happened. So the battalion is marching to their oh, they're gonna get hit by cannonballs so badly. Let's see what happens. Okay, after I take care of this first parapet, I'm gonna have to like consolidate what's left and then move the cannons up and fire into that next line. But meanwhile, all the while, the Brits just keep marching off the board. It's beautiful back there. Bastards. Keep on chucking. Alright, they got one more unit coming on the board this turn. That'll be their last battalion to march off. That'll be there on the way. I need to get disordered on these bastards here. That's big. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. French shooting, turn 5. Alright, my good luck continues. The Voltigeurs moved forward and fired and scored, I rolled like 3 Yahtzee. And they saved, I think they had like 4 hits of the 4 shots. And they saved 2 of them, but then they only had 1 standing. So the 9-pounder got taken out. All 5 guns fired on the Coldstream Guard. And the howitzer missed, unfortunately, but the other guns all did disordered them and did a casualty, or 2 casualties actually. That line fired at the Coldstream Guard missed. The 2 leading attack columns both fired onto the first guard and did 1 casualty and disordered them. The big victory was this square missed the cavalry, but this square was able to fire and hit him and got a 6, so they disordered them. These guys did a 5. They hit them. It didn't. The light dragoons made both saves, but they are disordered again. So that was the key to that. That'll basically allow my boys to keep on going. And the guard, all the while, are coming up the rear. No more cannons over here. Yeah. All right. Cool. We'll do the British movement for turn, whatever the hell we're in, whatever turn it is. The last British regiment will come on, or battalion will come on here in a second. It'll be the Black Watch, bringing up the rear. Not a shabby turn for the Brits. Gordon Highlanders and the Black Watch both got perfect triple moves, so they caught up with the rest of the boys. No one's left the board yet, but the Hanoverians are right on the edge. So next turn, like it's actually multiple units piled up in that intersection over there, but they are on the move. Big move was the Coldstream Guard were disordered with 2 casualties, but they used their elite rule, and they cleared the elite. They cleared the disorder, formed in a column of companies, and abandoned the parapet. Moved out down here. I forgot to roll. I forgot to remind the kids about that one too. Alright, I'll roll that one again to see if the first guard clear their disordered too. And that'll be only housekeeping thing I forgot, I believe. Picked up a lot. We were busy picking up all the cotton, because there'll be no more shooting at that parapet. Alright, it's cannons and crossfire. Not as much crossfire as usual, thanks to the Voltigeurs taking out those cannons. Alright, we'll see ya. All I gotta say is grazing fire, enfilading fire. Straight up sucks, man. Oh, God. 6-pounder. Fired. Thankfully it's over, not canister shot. Went through that unit. Went through that unit, went into that unit. These guys got disordered. These guys took a casualty. Those guys took casualties and got disordered. 8-pounder did the other crisscross applesauce. They did, I think they did 1 casualty and disordered this guy, the front unit. Then the back unit took 2 casualties and got disordered. The round went through and actually missed these guys, thank God. Then the 95th Rifles fired enfilading shots into these guys. They saved pretty good, but they did take another casualty and like 4 more disordered. And then the 1st Guards fired into that front one and gave them another casualty. And they were already disordered, so they got more disordered. So we've got 3 casualties and disordered on the 1st attack column. 3 casualties disordered on the 2nd. These guys aren't disordered, but they have 1 casualty. Disordered in 2, and disordered square back here. So whoopshaw, raked them good. Pretty devastating. That's basically a paralyzed attack column. I guess that one, what battalion's that, or what regiment? The 47th. I can just send them in to attack the 1st Guards for fun. I'll probably send them in, screw it. They'll get some kind of traction going on. And then I've got to try to get rid of this cavalry unit. I got to get this unit back together again. This 1st Brigade is just all over the place and a freaking disaster. They're like... But at least the artillery can relimber up and try to move, I guess. If I get repulsed, I can try to use close-range artillery attacks on them. It's a rough one, and the Guard's coming up. So, yay. Not so bad. Going into turn 6. I don't get my cavalry till turn 7. That would really help on turn 6, but I think it's fair. I don't think they'd even fit in this disaster. I'm in this log jam. The only thing they would do is I could wipe out the cavalry. I could just hit them with heavy cavalry and just destroy them. So that's probably what's going to happen. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Turn 6 movement for the French. Went pretty well. Kind of elevate here. You can see this massive doom. It's just a insane amount of movement. Looks like the Strangler in Chicago, all the highways come together to go on the Eisenhower. It's a freaking disaster. What happened? Well, in that 2nd Battalion leading the way up there, they had 3 out of 5 of their battalions were disordered. They were able to get 1, was able to complete a charge into the 1st Guard. Parts of, they were also, where did the part of that battalion go? Oh, and then the other, the other part of their battalion, brigade, excuse me, was able to move up behind them, and they're still an attack column. Parts of 1st Brigade moved in with them. These guys here, sorry, that mess was the line that was facing the Coldstream Guard. They reformed into attack column and were able to move into that mess. This battalion in line was one of the squares. They got a good move, and they came out, went into attack column, moved forward, and formed line. This other square actually haven't taken off their shaken yet. They just rallied, so they lost 1 casualty. This other square did a... They weren't a square, sorry. They were an attack column back here next to the squares. I forgot, sorry. This other square did a disorderly retreat to get out of the way. So they stayed to remain disordered. The guard moved up 2 moves. The artillery limbered and moved 2 moves up the left side. And then the voltigeurs stayed in skirmish formation and tried to move into those woods, but only got 1 move, so they're barely getting into the woods. They're going to try to work their way through and see what they can do over there. Not too bad. At least I got at least one, maybe probably 2 supports up there for that attack against the first guard. I don't think it's going to go too well, but at least I got engaged. I like got something happening here, and then hopefully I'll have enough guns between that line formation and these 2 squares where I can actually get at least I'll have 5 dice to see if I can get 1/6 to keep these guys disordered. If I don't, they're just gonna inch forward and it's gonna be a disaster. So that's going to be the key. I want to get as many shots as I could into the light dragoons there to try to prevent them from moving forward and squaring me up. I stayed out of 6 inches, so I didn't have to worry about getting going into square automatically. Okay, that's French movement. I'm going to do some dice rolling here in a minute. I'll get a different view. Noticed in a lot of my filming, I get excited and start moving around the camera way too fast. I'm probably, even when I'm going super slow, I'm probably getting the same effect of nauseum. But I'll try to, it's like my painting, I'm always trying to improve on my cinematography too. There's no point making a video that's hopefully entertaining that makes you throw up. Oh, 95th's gonna blast some people. Alright, go stand up kind of slow. We'll get a shot from behind the first guard. Okay. That's just a mass of humanity. Alright, let's do French turn 6 shooting. Quick update, French shooting, these 2 battalions both fired into the cannons and missed. We got that -1 for being disordered. These guys this battalion tried to shoot into the woods and hit some of the skirmishers and missed. Big thing was the line was able to score 1 hit, and one of the squares it will score 1 hit on the dragoons, one of which was a disorder, so they're re-disordered again. Very, very helpful. Very frustrating for them. Sorry about that, guys. And I think that was about it. Oh, the British just chose to countercharge. So they didn't get the closing fire bonus. They rolled like shit anyway, so that's alright. So they're hand to hand will both sides charging each other. So that will happen now. Hand to hand was a draw. Both sides did 1 casualty to each other. And they had the equal same amount of support, so it was a tie. The British First Guards now have 3 casualties, and that line battalion has 2. According to the supplement rules, the square disintegrates into a line in hand-to-hand, so the French will get the bonuses there. And it's a straight-up drawed combat, so no one has advantage in the next round. Alright, so we're going to go into British movement phase 6. So British movement phase 6, 4 victory points already. They got 4 units off the board, 4 battalions. Bastards. They had some really good movement. 2 Highland battalions, both got 2 moves. They moved up. We got a triple move off the Gloucestershire unit over here. And I think a really crappy move by the King's Own. They might have got 1 or 2, I can't remember. But they moved up a little bit. But they were getting close to leaving. The big move was the Coldstream Guards nailed 3 moves and stayed in Combo Companies, and now are supporting the first guard. And I know it's not totally conventional, but I had the Royal Welsh Fusiliers also convert to Combo Companies. I was kind of talking to the kids about it. And one, it's easier to support, and two, if the kids were debating about taking off, I'm like, well, you're in a faster formation with that, so kind of, at least that way they can still support, and if there's a boogie, they'll get the extra movement bonus for being in that formation, so it helps them, you know. And I think we'll do some shooting, which will mostly just be cannons. And then, oh, the 95th, I forgot, they'll shoot at us. And then hand to hand. Alright, turn 6, shooting British. That 8-pounder was devastating. The 6-pounder did okay. It did a casualty, but or did do casualties, I guess. Actually did 1 to that. 6-pounder fired first. Did 1 to them, and then it did grazing fire, so these guys did 2. And then it missed these guys from behind. The 8-pounder got 2 hits on the first squadron, or first battalion. Forced a morale test, they failed it. Grazing fire went through, did 2 more to these guys. They forced a morale test. They exploded, they failed their morale test, and then the rounds went through and did 1 casualty to the middle guard. So I just mowed. They must have had like a supercharged ball in there. Deesh. The 95th Rifles decided to enfilade this line, and they did 2 casualties, and they're up to 3 now. So that removes some of the supports from French hand-to-hand. And they are all by myself against the guard. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Who's still disordered? I think most of the disorders are gone, though, which was... The units that would have been disordered both got destroyed. They both broke on morale tests. Alright, so that means we're going into the hand-to-hand section. Turn 6. So a good battle. The first guards did 2 casualties to the French, and the French did 1 casualty to the first guard. They're both shaken. Because of the 3 supports for the Brits and the extra casualties, they ended up winning by 3, forcing a +3 morale test, which is going to force them to retreat 12 inches, the French, and become disordered. So we'll move them back here, and we'll start with French turn 7. It's just turned into a log jam. I couldn't give the first guard a chance to recoup, so charged in with the remaining 3 battalions of 2nd Brigade. Actually, 2 battalions of 2nd Brigade. Yeah, they have 1 back here. Sorry, that lost a hand-to-hand last turn. So those front 2 battalions are both from 2nd Brigade. So if we lose 1, that brigade breaks. So it'd be unfortunate. They have to take some artillery fire probably next turn. But right now we'll just take some closing fire and some hand-to-hand. Wanted to squeeze some stuff in here, but I couldn't really move close to the cavalry without triggering a must form square, so that didn't happen. I was able to move all the cannons up and basically unlimber them, so they're facing all different directions. I'll push them around a little bit if I need to next turn. They cannot shoot this turn anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it, but they are unlimbered. I'll be able to use them at pretty much close range here. The skirmishers failed their order to move into the trees, which sucked, and the old guard, and basically the guard, really couldn't move them. It's just too much of a log jam. These guys had done their disorderly retreat last turn, so they'll clear the disorder after this movement phase. The other square moved up into attack column and joined them. It's a lot of casualties up there. Could be ugly again. We'll see. It won't be till next turn though. French shooting turn 7. Very short and sweet. French shooting phase turn 7. The line once again scored 2 disordered hits. These guys finally took a casualty, the light dragoons. So they have 1 now, and they're disordered. And then the other attack column that's supporting the hand-to-hand attack took a shot at the Kings, at the first guards. It hit them, but they made their save, so nothing there. No one else could shoot. So now it's closing fire and hand-to-hand. No casualties were caused. Everybody made their saves. Oh! But I come out of attack column into line. At least the Brits are still shaken, so I got that little bonus there. Nobody won, no casualties. Both at 3, so I'm not shaken. Yay. And we'll fight again next turn. Oh god, here we go. British, turn 7. We actually forgot to bring in my French cavalry last turn, so that's my fault. As I went and cleared up that oversight, they moved in, they got 2 moves, and they are joined the battle. British going for the win, baby. Going for the win! The brigade on this road, what was left, did a triple move and got 2 brigades off the road, off the screen to get them up to 6, and 6 units off to 6 victory points, and then the last battalion that came in on the south road, the commander of the brigade did a follow me order and moved him off. So they're up to 7, and then the Royal Welsh Fusiliers and the Coldstream Guards both did an about face and got 1 move only though, and they are moving towards the exit to go for the ultimate victory for the British, leaving the 1st Guards, 2 artillery pieces, and the 95th to try to slow the French down and cover their retreat. Kids are going for the victory points. Bastards. All right, French. Oh, we have British shooting. Sorry, British shooting turn 7. So that 6-pounder is a point-blank enfilading shot into that infantry unit. They just took 2 casualties, failed them, failed 2 checks, disordered, failed their morale test. They broke. They're all double 1s. Technically, that would be the brigade broken, but this guys are in hand-to-hand still, so they will stay. But I'll take off the other one behind them. They'll be gone. So that brigade will break and they'll take off running. But I want to leave the hand-to-hand going. I don't think they'd run away from. They wouldn't even probably notice that their buddies just got blown to pieces behind them because they're too busy trying to fight the 1st Guard. 2nd cannon still got a fire. Oh god! Holy horses, Batman! Oh Jesus! I totally forgot to record after the hand-to-hand between the last member of the 1st Brigade and the 1st Guard. The 1st Guard wiped them off the map. I didn't bother doing a morale test since the brigade was already broken. The remaining 3 battalions of 1st Brigade, that one broke from artillery, so it fell back. It did a disordered fall back. And these 2, this was 1 in line and the 1 in square, they reformed into attack column and just moved to a kind of supporting role. Cavalry rolled like a boss got 3 moves, so they charged in and hit the light dragoons from 2 sides. Plus they have support. And then the guard did a triple move as well. So and also the Voltigeurs attached themselves to 4 of the 5 guard platoons. I think the young guard's the one without a detachment of Voltigeurs. So the large battalion of the old guard did a double attack between the 6-pounder and the first guard. The middle guard slammed into, all by itself, into the 8-pounder, and then the other 3 battalions of the brigade moved into supporting roles. I was going to fire the cannons at the 95ths, but just I rolled so good with the guard, I said screw it. I just left there's no point shooting now. Okay, that's where we're at. Another giant cluster. Oh boy, that looks awesome. Cuirassier, I think that's what we say. I've been saying it wrong. I think I say it different every video, but I say it wrong every time. I'm 100% wrong every time on that. Somebody help me out. It's 99% of you guys are a lot more knowledgeable than me on this stuff. I just enjoy the hell out of it. I even took French for 3 years, and I suck at it. And then the Carbineers. Yeah, that's freaking beautiful. We'll see if the first guard can hold up on this disaster. I did have to speed things up to try to stop those last 2 battalions from leaving the field. See if I can catch them. Alright, here we go, hand to hand and shooting. So in the cavalry battle, after all the attacks from both sides, the light dragoons took 9 casualties. The Carbineers took 0, and the Cuirassier, they took 3. So -6 morale test for this bad boy. We'll do that right now. See how that goes. I'm sure it's going to go great. Oh, the light dragoons rolled a 10 on their morale test, but with the -6, it's a 4, so they implode. They can't really charge anything with the... Everything's engaged and they can't charge into the woods, so we'll just kind of reposition a little bit. But wipe the light dragoons off the map. Yeah, baby. Got them finally. They did a good job for just... Even though they were disordered the entire time, they definitely slowed down. Closing fire for the British. The 6-pounder was able to disorder into a casualty on the old guard. First guard hit them twice. They saved both of them. And that 8-pounder into the middle guard hit them, and they actually hit him once and no disordered, and they made the save. All the friggin' 6. Beautiful. So now we'll do hand to hand. Oh, I think the old guard fight will be. The middle guard fight's an automatic, but I'll just roll for fun. The old guard won their hand to hand. They beat the first guard. First guard passed their morale test, but also the old guard wiped out the other cannon. The middle guard killed their cannon. They can move forward and advance their attack. I don't know how that works if you're already engaged in hand-to-hand. You can move forward and advance your attack, so why couldn't they move behind these guys and attack them? That feels like almost like too much. And a flank attack with a large unit already on them. I don't think there's even room for that, so I'm going to go ahead and hold it. Say no on that one. Let's debate on that one. Okay, so that's that. Oh, and the Vicious Legion shot at the 95th Rifles and missed. So it's British movement turn 8, I think, right? Here we go. Oh, bastard children. They rolled 3 triple moves. So these two, for both of them. That needs to re-roll on one of them. But the Royal Welsh Fusiliers and the Coldstream Guard both moved. They're probably in range of getting out of here in one move. And they've got the commander with them. The remaining the Black Watch that was there, their brigade commander did a follow me order and took them off the board. That's 8. So the British secured a minor victory. The 95th Rifles were able to draw one move into the woods farther. And no one can really get past the first guards. They'll have to kill them to get, or drive them backwards farther to make room for the cavalry to get by. They won't be moving this turn, though. Damn it. Well, I might be able to crush them and then at least catch the 95th, and maybe these guys will get a blunder or something like that and I'll luck out. Alright, we'll see what happens. In the final hand-to-hand, the first guard loses by, was it 5? No, they lost by 4. I think they had 5 casualties, and they did 1 on the French. And then on the 3 supports, ended up being a -5 morale test. No, I think it was 3 and 1 or something like that. So or 4 and 1. The British took 4 and I took 1. And then the +3 swing for the 3 supports, and the Brits don't have any. And they rolled a 7. So ba-boom! First guard dies. I would be free to pursue. I've already lost a brigade. I have a second brigade, beat the hell down. They probably would send cavalry out. It's getting late. We played a lot. So we're going to go ahead and call it. The Brits, there's no way I'm going to catch these guys. So they're going to get those 2 off, and they're going to get their 10 points. They'd run down the 95th guys and probably slaughter them. They'd go to ground and probably live in the houses and stuff. But the cavalry would probably chase them down. But they would get the 2 more off for the 10-point total victory. And good game. The Valley was tough. It's a good little follow-up battle to the Battle of Warmsen. So the first guard were definitely the MVP. They delayed big time. They all, between the cannons, them, and the 95th, they played well. Kids did irritatingly good. Good dice rolling. And that's it. Good game. It was fun. All right, that was my first really That was more strategic than just a straight up battle. That was kind of different. That was fun. Just kind of thought of that one day. Okay, well, that's it. I'll head to bed. I'll get this video out tomorrow. And y'all have a good night. Hope you enjoy it. I tried to flick the camera around too much, make everybody throw up. We'll see you later. A good view of all that crap. Holy shnikes. Boom. See ya.